Also on our right hand side we do have our zebras. Zebras are known as the wild horse of Africa. However, unlike the domestic horse, they are impossible to train. They're one of the most numerous and preyed upon species on the open plains. They have very keen senses of sight, hearing, and smell, which makes them very reactive to danger. In fact, other animals on the open plains will often use zebras as alarm systems to know when danger is approaching. The subspecies of which are hollow, and it's the female that has the longer horns. She'll use these horns to defend herself and her young against predators. And in many countries they're replacing cattle because they're much easier on the land. We do have our red-necked wallabies and our red kangaroos. Both of these guys are marsupials and they're from Australia. They have pouches on their stomach which they keep their young, also known as joeys, in for about 280 days. The wallabies can be distinguished from the kangaroos by their smaller size, medium gray coats, and their black noses and paws. Both the wallaby and kangaroo are very good swimmers. Now they both possess very long feet which prevent them from walking properly, so when they wish to move slowly they must use their front paws and their tail for balance. They are designed for jumping. An adult kangaroo can jump 29 feet in distance and 6 feet in height. Their joeys are born blind and hairless and about the size of a lima bean. To put that in perspective, that's about the size of your thumbnail. You can see some of them moving around slowly using their paws and their tails to walk. Now coming up on our left-hand side, we do have our yak, including many calves that are absolutely adorable. Now both our left and right-hand sides. The yak is a type of ox native to Tibet, and their thick, shaggy coats enable them to survive snowstorms. They can live at temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius. Only one calf is born every second year. This is because the calf is entirely reliant upon the mother for the first year. And lucky us, it looks like this was the year that they were born. In times of danger, the yak will form a protective circle around their young with their horns facing outwards. The domestic yak is a staple milk producer and beast of burden in the Central Asian Highlands. They're the largest type of Indian antelope. Both the females and babies are a tawny brown color. You can see the male is an iron blue. They're also called blue bulls. The name Nilgai comes from the word nil, which means blue, and gai, that means cow. And you should be able to notice that they all have black and white rings on their feet. If you look carefully, they all have 2 spots on their cheeks as well. They're creatures of habit. They have regular places where they eat, sleep, and go to the bathroom. The only species of wild European sheep. Males and females usually live in separate herds most times of the year. The males are a little bit farther back and they can be identified by their larger size, darker coats, the white saddles on their backs, and their long spiraling horns which reach up to a meter in length. The females usually have small horns or no horns at all. They're more of a light brown color. Their lambs must stay very close to them because they need to be suckled every 10 to 15 minutes. You're gonna wear one of my personal favorites. These strange looking animals are our Takin. They're native to the mountainous regions of western China and the Himalayas. There's less than 5,000 Takin left in the wild. Like the giant panda, they're considered a national treasure to the Chinese and are fully protected by Chinese law. They're said to have the body of a bison, the horns of a wildebeest, the bushy tail of a bear, and the face of a moose. There's 4 subspecies of Takin, each with their own range. The ones we have here are the Szechuan Takin. Coming up on our right-hand side, behind the fence, we have our Markhor. These are mostly the females and their kids. The Markhor is the largest member of the wild goats. They're also the national animal of Pakistan. And If you look behind the rocks, you should be able to see our male, and you can tell him apart because he's got long spiraling horns, which reach up to 40 inches in length. The female's horns usually less than 10 inches.
Simon, what do you see, Doody-Doo?
They're excellent jumpers and climbers and clear obstacles of 6 feet, which is why they're behind that fence, because they can just jump over our hoof grates. There's an estimated 70 to 80 million of them roaming North America at one time.
Look, buddy.
However, now there's only about 30,000. They can only be found in protected areas. We'll also get a little bit closer look at them as we come around. The elk is the second largest member of the deer family next to the moose. It's only the male that grow the antlers. During the growth period, they're covered in a soft velvety material that supplies them with blood. The antlers are usually fully developed by August, at which time they can reach over a meter in length and that velvet is shed. In the fall, the antlers are used to display to the females and to fight with other males for the right to mate. One of our males. Also a few of our fawns.
Simon, baby's over here, Boo.
Also on the left-hand side, we can get a little bit closer look at some of our bison. The bison are characterized by the large hump over their shoulders. There's actually a mass of muscle required to hold up their very heavy heads. They also have sharp horns that curve out and upward from their thick skulls, as well as long black ears, which are up to 30 centimeters in length. They can be quite noisy as they constantly grunt to maintain contact with each other, and they'll often snort to warn off intruders. At maturity, an adult male can tip the scales at 1,300 kilograms, with females usually weighing about half that. Now on the left-hand side, you might be able to identify our dominant male. You can tell him apart because he's about twice the size of the others. He also has a massive head, although it's kind of hard to see his head right now. Behind that female. His name is Lucas. Also coming up on both our left and right-hand sides, also crossing the road, we do have more of our spotted fallow deer. There's also another elk fawn up ahead. You can see that spotted coat that I was talking about. Spotted fallow deer are native to Mediterranean countries. However, they rarely exist in a truly wild state. And in Europe and Great Britain, they exist as park animals only. They're rapidly approaching extinction in the wild due to overhunting and habitat destruction. And unlike our North American deer, which are only spotted for the first few weeks of life, spotted fallow deer retain their spots throughout adulthood. Like the elk, it's only the male spotted fallow deer that grow the antlers. They begin to develop in the second year of life, and at first they consist of a simple pair of prongs, and the deer is known as a picket.
That's what that wagon was doing, I guess.
The antlers fall off every year, usually in April, and then they're replaced by a larger set.
I'm not sad. Simon, do you see the deer?
They get to keep theirs.
Okay, go in the back.